was an aircraft mechanic, a licensed aircraft mechanic. I worked at Duncan Field, called Kelly Field, later. And I was essential, so I wasn't supposed to be able to join the service or anything. They didn't want me to leave, so I had to tell a little lie and go in and tell them I wanted to enlist, and they enlisted me. And then when I went back to my place where I was supposed to stay, that I couldn't leave legally, well, I got bawled out by some second lieutenant that said, "I never want to see your face again." I did a no, tell a lie, but I wasn't gonna sit at home during the whole war and not serve, so I joined the Air Force, the 8th Air Force, and the squadron. My squadron was 367. I was stationed in England, and we were flying into and bombing France that was occupied by Germany, and Germany. I was a bolt-turret gunner on a B-17 Flying Fortress, and that airplane would really take it. It could be very badly damaged. We'd come in several times with one engine out or other damage to it, but we made it back. And one time, when you had lost an engine or something, you flew very slowly, and so the fighters would come in after you. So that day it was cloudy, and we went up above the clouds and were able to get home that way. Boy, they really knocked the hell out of us, because they had our altitude and our speed, and usually flak was not that bad, but since they had our altitude and all, well, they almost knocked us out. Oh. But I think we lost an engine, if I remember right. And then I told you we went next to the cloud to make it back. Uh-huh. One of the reasons that I was lucky to fly with this group, we used to fly real tight formation. We would fly wing over wing, and that way, if the fighters came in at you, you had a lot more firepower to save yourself. And one day we were flying so close to each other that one of our airplanes hit the gas tank of the airplane that was under it, and that airplane exploded immediately. And they were killed. 10 men were killed like that. But that was a war. Once I flew with 100th Bomb Group.
But what happened? We
flew in a formation of 48 airplanes in each group. Mm-hmm. And they would, like I told you, they'd come in from the side of the sun, mm-hmm. and it was more blinding for you. And so they keep coming in 6 like that. And we were saved. The next one was our airplane, and I don't know why, but they started coming in to shoot us down, and I guess they ran out of gas or something, but they turned off, and just before instead of coming in, they made the pass, and they were right ready to shoot at us, and they took off and went back because they didn't have enough fuel, I guess. And so that was my lucky day.
The tail gunner is an interesting sort. You were.
Oh yeah, he was James Dunn. Dumb is dumb. They didn't make him any dumber. Well, we were flying along, and this dodo was shooting at the waves. You know, he hadn't been on a mission that he'd been attacked by fighters, or he wouldn't have been wasting his ammunition, because you only had about 500 rounds in each gun, and 50 caliber guns. And so when we got back on the ground, I had to try to do something about that dummy. I went down there and I beat him up a little bit. So I don't know I should have any satisfaction out of that, but I did. Whenever I had time, if there was any course they offered or anything like that, well, I took it. So I took a course on driving a Jeep, and I would drive the Jeep to the airplane every mission, and I was licensed to drive the Jeep. And this dodo, well, the dodo wanted to drive it, so I just was dumb enough to let him do it. And started speeding in it. It was raining, and he turned the Jeep over on my leg, and I had both legs. The Jeep landed on my leg, the edge of the Jeep, and I had the tibia and fibula both broken. So, and I was lucky because they had about 60 doctors there waiting for the invasion. We were supposed to invade, and so they took the time to put my leg together with metal plates, silver coated, and it took 9 hours. I was on the bed in the hospital, wide awake, because they gave you a local, which numbed only your legs, and so I got to see all the operation. That was crazy.
Why did you turn the Purple Heart down?
Oh yeah, they wanted to give me the Purple Heart because I was getting wounded in battle, and they would have given me a Purple Heart that I didn't deserve, so I turned it down. I've seen sights in my life that are more like a movie going on. We were flying, and I heard one of the crew members tell the pilot to pull the plane up because the plane was going to crash into us. But you know, planes didn't crash into you like that, like they did, and some of them were suicide, but they weren't trying to do that. But this pilot passed right under my wing. I was in the bulk turret. When they told the pilot to raise the plane, if we raised the plane, and that guy came so close that I saw this German pilot in his airplane dead, with flames licking his face. That was really something. That's a scene. When would you ever see one? No one, except movies they make up, you know. And so I've really been lucky in my life to have gone through the war and still be here at 90. Once they started shooting at me, and I was in that airplane, I thought, what a fool, you volunteered for this. That's about it, I guess.